Well, hey, good morning, everybody. So, I am going to kick things off with this Sunday video, and I think I got a billion and one things I can share today. Oh gosh, it's going to be a long session. If you came in to hear me talk, good for you, because I got a lot to speak on. I think I do. And if I don't, even better, because I can make the video much shorter. So, let's jump into it. Let's not be too slow about it. First off, let's go ahead and do a quick check. I'm going to find out what I'm looking like. Let's do this. I'm going to see if I've picked up any more traction on my videos that I posted the other day. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-a-doo. Okay. This is going to tell me something right here. Zero traction. Zero traction. This is why I do not like YouTube. I made some really good, relevant content. Like, that's like quality based. And aesthetically, it should have crossed the line. But I bet you I got dinged because I used the AI voice. And what's wrong with using AI voices? Nothing. Nothing should be wrong with using an AI voice. The fact that you can use AI voice to have something articulated well and spoken clearly over the voice of somebody just like me ranting, and you never know what I'm saying sometimes because my English is mixed with a little bit of country here and a little bit of collective northerner talk. I don't really know, man. My voice is the way it is, but somebody might not be able to understand every word that I'm saying. Or I might skip and screw up. It's so crazy that they would ding you on quality. God, YouTube is so fucking retarded, man. It's not YouTube. You know what? A tool is only as good as its user, right? And the way that these clowns wield a device like YouTube that is a heavy influencer, an opportunity and platform for many people is ridiculous. They use this inappropriately. So I've ranted on this before with YouTube. I'm not going to do it again here now. I'm just going off. Oh, by the way, I'm using my new ring light, whatever I'm using. I mean, it does give me a nice little overall lighting onto me without it being like, it's not like, I'm not shaded. I don't have like a shadow area. So that's great. I think I'm going to enjoy this one far better than using this other one. I thought it was going to tilt my camera too much significantly because I have it kind of weirdly clipped, but it works out perfect. So good. Great. Awesome. So, gosh, how many things can I talk about today? One of the things I've always been struggling with is this body pains. Like I've had like some stomach ulcer here, some stomach problems down here, my gut, can't eat, whatever, all that kind of stupid stuff, right? And even whenever I don't eat a lot of food, let's say I don't eat any food, I usually have problems. Like, I just attribute it to, oh, I'm just going through digestive stuff. I'm just, this is clearing out all the bad stuff. Well, I did a more of a deep dive into the subject matter of H. pylori yesterday because I've always speculated I had that issue. I've taken H. pylori medicine, and when I say medicine, it's more like a supplement in the past, and it's helped. Like, and then I went on this kick with Cambo, when I'm purging and throwing up. And then the other one was I went to the doctors, and so after all that session, and it's probably a good it's probably a good like 2 to 3 month, maybe 4 month session that I didn't really have a lot of issues, but there would be like hiccups here and there, but I'd take a great probiotic. So here's what my theory is, and it's only a theory because God knows when you're dealing with diet problems, this is an issue. And I'm going to make a cool video. Hopefully this will get attention on how people can address some of their H. pylori concerns. I mean, gosh, the other problem that I have with YouTube not promoting my content or making me even be able to rank is because it falls in this category of health, is what I'm assuming. When I started talking about sugar or started going into about something with toothpaste and how it can affect your health, that automatically gets screened, and YouTube's algorithms just don't refer it out and push it out. It's fucking ridiculous. So that the fact that the only thing that's going to be ranking and getting attention is, excuse me, I got some tickle in my throat. It's going to be content by the Mayo Clinic. Retarded. So, H. pylori. I took this H. pylori supplement yesterday. I was feeling crummy. If you watched my video yesterday, you would see that I was just like, depressed almost nearly. I mean, like, honestly, your mitochondria control a big function of the rest of the body. And then we're just kind of like instruments of observation. Like, if you want to associate or disassociate yourself, you're all this thing. You're the body, you're the mitochondria, you are the spirit inside, you are all of that. And so it gets kind of diametrically split or dichotomically split. I'm making up words in between these kind of different worlds, but they're all one world. It's very interesting. That's why I like the interwovenness of, I'm using these words. I like the interwoven tapestry of what the creation delivers. Is really magical. It truly is. So, where am I going with all this? My brain's just like firing 1,000 seconds per minute. I haven't taken any Mucuna Purines. I haven't done any of that yesterday either. That's been miraculous with my brain just being able to go. But I think it's because I'm not sacrificing all my energy towards this stupid bacteria of H. pylori. Helopectobacterium, like, I never know how to say it. Helopectobacterium, or whatever it is. I always want to call it a helicopter. But this element has probably been robbing me so bad, and I've been offsetting the best I can with supplement, like with probiotics, that my energy levels have been in the tank for so long, so freaking long. And as I'm aging, there's other recruitments happening in my body that everything starts to get tasked, so it becomes a snowball effect. Oh, I hate it. But hey, if I can offset some of this again a little bit better, I've been taking the H. pylori. As soon as I took it, it was like within I would say an hour maybe. I was like feeling so damn good. So good, well enough that I was like, I'm ready to eat my ass off. So I started chowing down, eating on everything. Cereals, pizzas, hamburger, what the heck ever I could think of. I was consuming, and I always eat till I'm like, okay, I don't want to push my stomach too much, like, getting too full. But I still ate quite a lot. And when I did, my energy levels just went way up. I was energized. I had jam. I had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I had oat bread. I had all the nasties. And I'm not sitting here saying this to brag. I'm saying what I was able to accomplish with handling a particular thing like H. pylori. So what I'm going to start leaning towards, and I've seen other people, I went back and looked at the supplement reviews, and I started noticing like there was a trend of comments. Like people said, I got all my stomach problems handled in like a day. Everyone kept saying like their issues were resolved in like a day. It's very fast working. So I was like, okay, what I'm experiencing, because I tend to be a fast responder to most supplements. What I was experiencing was not uncommon, and I'm benefiting great from it. That's outstanding. So now I haven't ate anything really today. I had a little bit of juice, so that probably threw off some of my fasting glucose or whatever the hell, whenever you're doing fasting, you don't want to throw off your fast. So I probably threw that off with having a little bit of pomegranate juice, but so be it. I did it. And I took some supplements, and I haven't ate anything. The other thing I've consumed just recently was some aminos, and I'm trying to supplement and do some things with aminos. They say as you get older, especially if you have something like maybe close to an autoimmune condition like me, I think I have it. Let's be honest. If I'm experiencing something that's kind of like ulcerative colitis or anything stomach related, these things can help offset that issue. What I'm going to tell you is protein. So I've just watched this video where they're saying increase your protein count, because that, from the studies, seems to indicate a better longevity offset from dealing with loss of muscle, like sarcopenia, if you're getting older and aging. So they all recommend this like 1.2 to 1.5 range per body weight of protein. So 1.2 to 1.5 grams. And I'm always like, how the fuck do you get that many grams in your diet? I like in one meal. Like you definitely not gonna get it in one meal. So you gotta eat at least 3 meals a day. And then you're trying to get 82 grams if you're at the 1.3 mark, which is where I put it. 1.3. I'm trying to get 82 grams in 3 meals. Damn! Like how the fuck am I gonna accomplish that? But they say, and all of that protein is where all the muscle is. Which, speaking of which, I have pretty good muscle. Wait a minute. It's always weird because I have the camera twisted, so I have to turn my arms to the side. But you can see I got a pretty good chunk of muscle, man. I'm not like... I did well. Whatever I did the other day with the working out, it tore my body down. I have never had such an intense workout with that minimal amount of reps. It's so crazy. Like I exercise really slow, under tension, and I'm hitting these like different like heavy marks. But here's the whole thing. It made sense to me after I did the workout and when I went back and listened to some of Mike Minster's stuff. Because Mike Minster confirmed it. Somebody said, how the hell are you training these folks on one rep and they're having this kind of outcome and success? And he says, he says, well, honestly, he says that one rep is putting the tension of the muscle, putting muscle under tension for the same amount of duration and maybe even longer than if somebody was doing a lot of different reps. You got to think. And he says, plus people incur injuries during the concentric phase, so the positive phase, and it makes total sense to me. When you're trying to keep like pulling yourself up, let's say you're doing a pull-up, or you keep trying to curl up, or doing all these triceps, you're constantly, whenever you're going in that concentric phase, the positive portion, you are putting stress on these joints consistently. Versus if you could just slowly get your way there in like 4 seconds is what he's got, kind of an interval. I think he even has longer ones, but a 4-second interval. You get all the way there and you hold. Now you're keeping all the tension under there. And that tension, when you're holding it there, is a different thing. It's like you're firing that muscle nerve connection. And that's what I've been encouraging people forever to say. When you get older, the mind-muscle connection is what dips. And that's what I think contributes for a lot of the loss in strength and everything like that. But once you can keep that going, that's great. So you're keeping that active at that static condition. Then when you release, you're releasing slow back. And that negative, it gives such a transformative effect. So you're going back 4 seconds there, but then you don't stop. Once you get back to this like 0 point, like where you started at the beginning, you maybe have like a hiccup of a rest. Like you don't want to do like a jar. That's what the 4 seconds is for. So once you get there, boom, 4, you're coming all the way back. You don't rest in the bottom portion or the start position. That changes me. That gave me a lot of different things for my body. I think I'm getting ready to go up in strength. I just need to supplement it with diet now. I need to eat. And trust me, that day I ate like a horse. And I was like a little bit down the next day because I felt like I should have been eating even more, but I didn't. I had just meat and fruit. So there's that. I think the H. pylori stuff is going to help. I have a lot of faith in going in that direction, and it's catapulted me in a different direction too. As far as like last night, I woke up around 3 a.m. and anytime, if you wake up at around these certain times of the night, you might have certain things that happen to you. Like 3 a.m. is my power moment. So if I wake up around that time, I can start to pull these different things, aspects, answer questions. It's like that nice little void where your brain waves have connected to such a state that you can extract the vital information you need to do what you need to freaking do. And I started changing my personal psychology, which is what I wanted, but I haven't had like the energy or fuel. Something's been robbing me this whole time. Hell, it's been robbing my hair, which again, you see guys, it's coming back, which is a fucking cool thing. I want my hair back. It'd be great. I'm not doing any minoxidil or any of this other stuff. I'm just trying to get my hair back. I'm trying to change my diet to hopefully give me the nutrients that the scalp needs and to get the hair follicles busting through loose, right? And like I said, I've been incurring hair loss probably since 2007. I know this from when I was in the military. So I'm pretty sure like that's when it was somewhat starting right here. And I just didn't do anything about it. I could have done something, should have done something, but shoulda, coulda, wouldas don't mean a thing. Now, I'm fixing some of that right now. I'm doing this like little hair loss thing by Dr. Berg, and I've only done it 3 days, so it's not really. I have nothing to report on really. I do try to get some of this little topical rosemary oil. Again, I don't really even know if that's benefiting me, but I feel like some of my own personal belief is what's encouraging the growth. So I'm gonna stick with it. We're gonna see what happens, and if I can reverse that, like I think that's a win. But here's the cool thing: when I was researching H. pylori, it is such a fucking villain in the body for some people. Like it is like could be a major driver of alopecia areata, and I've had that. You can't really see, but let me see if I can. Yeah, this side. So it's a little spot there. I actually had it way worse. And it was because I think I was getting stressed or whatever. Something was happening with stress. And you never know. It's hard to process what stress is. I probably have a higher than normal level than most people and don't even realize it. But anyways, in that particular area, I lost hair. And I think alopecia areata and then alopecia, the common form of alopecia, when people have H. pylori, when they start to resolve that or they take antibiotics to get rid of it, which I might have to go that direction. I really, really don't. I don't like antibiotics. It's not good for anybody. If I can get rid of this beast, hair comes back. So think about it, guys. Like you have something probably in your system that's robbing you of nutrients. And there's a really great supplement I've been told, but I want to do this first. It's by Heart and Soul, and it's Paul Saladino stuff that is supposedly just making people's hair just come flying way back. And the things that they have as kind of a combination is, I want to say, is it has liver, something else, I don't know, but they have key components, and maybe even heart. But there's like these key components that are just keeping people's hair thriving, helping people's hair regrow. They're having a lot of success on that. So I can't wait to be in on that and trying it out later. What else can I report on? So I was listening today about Robert Lustig's. He's got like a recent interview about 22 hours ago where he was interviewed by this other chick, and she was discussing different things about how the diet works, how all this stuff of fat and subcutaneous and sugar and stuff like this. And so it was very fascinating to learn. One of the things he mentioned on there was that if you're consuming things that give you high uric acid, that the uric acid is a big marker or biomarker for determining how well you're going to be functioning with your liver. So your liver issues could be derived by this uric acid buildup. And how does this happen? Was a question. And so it's increased through purines. And he mentioned purines. And then I think he even said high fructose corn syrup, fructose. So he said anybody that's consuming a high meat, high fruit diet is probably going to have higher levels of uric acid, which is going to be wrecking house in their body. And I thought it was very interesting how he mentioned if you're eating high meat and high fruit, you're just scared. Like you're not doing well. That's not a good diet. So he said that particular thing. I'm going to make a video that's going to link up to what Paul Saladino said, which was exactly the opposite. And really reinforces how, sugars for the body are good for the kidneys. It helps with electrolytes, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, damn, I think, so here's the jab that Saladino gave saying that Robert Lustig and all these other guys don't want to get interviewed, don't want to have a debate, a healthy debate. And he's just calling them out, man. He's gangster. I like Saladino for that. But then you got Robert Lustig doing like a little jab back. He's just like, that was maybe. I'm just speculating, but I think it's like cool to see that he's been trying to talk to this guy, and then he's still doing interviews with other people, but won't do it with Paul. But he makes a little side comment like that. Oh yeah, I think that was carefully inserted for those that are watching everybody. And I watch a lot of these guys. So there's that. I'm bouncing all over the place because there's a lot of content. I told you I'd have a lot to talk about. And it's fast. So I got this. So there's what I take instead of like this protein. I'm gonna try to ramp up maybe some of my protein from foods. I highly doubt that's going to happen. I'm probably going to have to get another whey protein isolate. The one I have has cinnamon, but the last time I've consumed it, and I've had bad, I think, occurrences before with this. It's kind of scary, y'all, but I'm going to try it maybe one more damn time because I got a big tub. I hate having a lot of protein, having to throw it away. I've done this with pea protein. That fucked me up. Always something in these protein powders. And some people vouch for it, but then I take it and it's like fucks me up. So I'm going to try maybe one more time to see if I can get more higher protein amounts in from what I'm consuming from the supplement. But as for, what was I going to say? So there's that. I'm going to eat. Oh, but I'm taking these amino acids that supposedly have a better availability or bioavailability. Or it's not really even a good description either. Maybe good nutrient absorption comes from these amino acids that have just been, isolated out and compacted. And when you consume it, you get more utilization than you would if you consume something like beef, poultry, what have you. And I took 4 pills a little bit earlier, right before I made this video. So it was about 30 minutes ago. So I'm going to see how that goes. They do pretty well. I mean, I've used them in the past, but I'm trying to do that more on a consecutive basis because I've bought all these pills. I got so many pills and I don't consume them and I don't want to throw them away. It's like money I'm throwing away. I buy and sit, or my body can't use it. Other case in points is like creatine and HMB. I've got these other cool supplements that could potentially benefit my body, but because my body is having issues with this stupid H. pylori, I can't even get onto those. So I'm really working to offset a lot of these issues, and I've learned a lot, but then I forget a lot, and I learn a lot, and I forget a lot, and it overlaps. But yeah, there's all that. Wow, I was telling you about the 3 a.m. Sorry I bounced around, and I'm coming back to it. So 3 a.m., I woke up, I started having this visual pursuit of how I want to run my life. And dadgummit, I hope I can keep my focus and drive and momentum there. But it was like giving me like this whole example of you need to set out on your own journey, just like you're a pirate, just start creating this kind of, I don't want to say it's a fantasy, but it is. It's really like you're imagining things. Like, so you want to create this imaginary world, which is what we already do. All of our beliefs or concepts or what we feel like the way the world operates is all an image, is imaginary. It's, we just come up with that. So why not make some really cool, figurative designs or whatever you want to do for your life? Well, my construct or whatever I'm getting ready to put together is one where I'm going to set up like a pirate. And where I'm getting these concepts from, if you're an anime watcher, I watched One Piece when I was younger, and I've always kind of kept up with it, but now I'm like way off track. It's almost like that, but it had such a good undertone of motivation that would help you like just accomplish and achieve anything in your life. And if you were bored, if you were lonely, you can just go hang out with that show and you felt like you were hanging out with people. And I'm wanting to get back to that wonderful vibe. I'm also got to see when your health is good, you actually feel better to do a lot of other things. So like I'm actually interested in wanting to do some more of my VR, maybe do some more active duty gaming as opposed to just sit and play, I'm actually there for that. Getting back on it. So the One Piece, if you're familiar with it, you understand that there's this one big pirate leader that everyone respects. And he lets this loud bang out to say, right before he dies, that I left all my gold and all the treasures and everything in one place. That's one, so everybody goes out for this, what they call the One Piece. It's all there. And so One Piece is kind of like this elusive thing that One Piece is just your journey. You going out there and adventuring for the One Piece, but the trick is that it was always, you always had it. You always, after it, always acquiring it, which was the journey, which is so cool. But there is also this idea that there is a One Piece. There is this one legendary place where Gold Deed Roger had left the treasure. And so it becomes this cataclysm of events. And what ends up happening, you find that there's these other high powers that were along the same time around when Gold D. Roger was that pirate king. And so they also were of equal power sometimes with him. And they were just like badasses on the sea. Well, I basically mirror this over into my life. And there's certain figures and key figures like my boss, the one I'm working with right now, really ain't working with, but he's kind of one of those Shibukai. I wouldn't say a Shibukai. He's one of those Grand Line Kadus. Like they're, is it Kadu the name? Emperors. So they got emperors. They got like 4 emperors. They kind of run things. And what I was coming up with last night is that what I envisioned out of him being like an emperor, he's not even like an emperor. Like I might find myself even being way ahead of him. And that I'll enter in other spaces where there will be more powers that are like emperors that really run the shows, like the financial or energy power sectors. And I think that is the adventure I want to set on. Well, it also told me, I'm listening to Spiritual Energy. It says, get your pirate crew together. I don't have a pirate crew. I've always been trying to do this thing by myself. But I have people in mind that could work with me on my expedition. And one of them was my neighbor. So I'm going to be reaching out to him and saying, hey, man, I've got a crazy thinking process that I want to pursue. Jump on board, man. He's probably going to go for it. Hopefully he will. He's one I've got. So you always got crew members. But I want to create a pirate ship full of comrades and captains. So we're a vessel of co-captains. And so this also led me down this rabbit hole of like, well, if I leave the company where I'm at to go with this other company, I would be more in a partnership position in building something special. And he's already got something going tremendously well there. It's fantastic to watch. I don't know. It just gave me so much motivation for life. And I was really in the down in the dumps. Like I got no money coming in. But I know if I go to this other company and I'd start to like actually give a fuck, I might actually could generate some cash flow in that aspect while building other people's careers, which would be perfect for me. I didn't mind doing that anyways, but I didn't have any kind of reward. And so quotes kept coming to me, and I kept writing down these quotes. Well, it was actually 2. So let me share with you what this is. I already know one of them off the top of my head. Or at least ways I say that, and then I always forget what the exact quote is. Better for me to read. I always say this, and I have to go look it up. So here it is. The first one I wrote down was, if I had stayed in one man's riches, I wouldn't have any of my own. I was like, woo! And it's not about this greed factor. You can give to your own detriment. And when you are spent and you pour it into one source, I've always been about this pouring into one source that doesn't distribute correctly. That when you do that, it's as if you didn't do anything. You build up one small area. But if you're able to acquire power, riches, whatever, and you're able to figure out great ways or avenues or conduits or channels that you can give that energy to, woo! There's a win-win all around, especially when it doesn't totally deplete you. Because aren't you part of this thing? So it becomes like a real quest of be careful about how much you take from people and how much you give. The balance, the middle path, always seems to come in. And then the other one was, let a man's actions be his words. But there was more that followed after that. Let a man's, and I only have this part here, but let a man's actions be his words. And understand that a man's words can mean many things. That is huge. So if you move that all around, somebody might say, well, I saw this guy go and do that. I don't understand it. This is crazy shit. You don't understand his language. We don't always understand what a person's actions are. Just like we don't always understand what a person's words are. But I'll tell you this, let a man's actions be his words. And understand that his words can convey many things. I should have that other part there. That's so important because the words are just like, how do I describe it? Your action is more of the full completion of something happening. Like me making this video and posting it, I've created actions and all that have fulfilled certain sequences of completion. Versus if I just talked about making the videos every day, they're not a great catalyst. It's not a catalyst. It doesn't start it. It may give a little bit of fuel, but it's just figurative. It's just like sounds. It's vibrational. And so you're channeling your vibration, but instead of it going out and talking and there's a different type of vibrational impact that this happens. You have to use that appropriately. And I think you use that appropriately whenever you're with other people. You say things, you convey things to help motivate them, and then it cascades action. Great. But when it comes to yourself, if you can't figure out a way to channel that talk to invigorate yourself, which in most cases doesn't work, because it's hard to do two things at once. If you put all of your eggs in one basket with vocalizing vibration in this way, and then you don't vibrate it inwardly into your nervous system to where you're actually producing all this, then you don't have a great outcome. That's why I say let a man's actions be his words. I called my chick this morning, which is kind of a little bit of a sour note with me. I got to get out of my selfishness. And I don't know how. So this part, what I've seen is that, and I don't know if I'm asking for too much. You guys let me know. Comment below. But I don't think I'm really asking for much. I want my lady to come and spend time here with me so we can get to build some personal intimacy, one. Number two, get a chance, partly because of that intimacy, cross some vulnerability areas to where we know each other. We're getting to build a bond. And like if we're not building a connection beyond me just going out with her and being seen with her in public, like I'm really not interested in this. This is going back to the exact same thing that I didn't like in the first place, where I'm building up emotions, building up feelings for somebody that when it's like the things that should take it, like it has to grow in this area for me in order for me to actually want something more with him. Like, I don't understand. I get people that like these like simple relationships and stuff like that, but if I've got somebody that's like derailing this or taking forever, taking time to build these more intimate connections, I don't know what I'm wasting time with this person for. Like, I'm fulfilling their bucket. I'm giving them, I'm pouring into one cup again. And then they want to come over and they want to spend time with me, but it's always on their terms. Like, I have no terms that I've decided for me. And that's a boundary fucking marker. Now, granted, they want to come over and spend time with me when I have, like, she wants to spend time with me when I have my kid. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Is that that's how you want to cross this line? So we are not going to have any kind of level of intimacy unless it's with the pairing of my child? I don't want a relationship like that. That's kind of like my definition of a relationship. Is I have a bond with this person on this level that should supersede, be separate, apart from something else. That if that doesn't work out, this part is at least intact. Let's imagine I go the other way and I just build this trio type relationship thing going on with her, me, and my daughter. Well, we all three sit down. That's all going well. But then we start to unravel a little bit when we're apart from my kid. Now our intimacy and all the other things that should be a bonding part of a partnership start to not even form or be unraveled. And now what? I have ruined this dynamic that has been put in place with my kid. My kid's having expectations. She's excited. She's energized. She's getting her hopes all the way up to now see them crash down because I wasn't able to form a solid or strong bond with a partnership, with two. And that is what I've been trying to echo to this woman for a hot minute. I'm like, hey, I work in stages. And she's like, okay, I respect your boundaries. And, well, this is stupid boundary shit. Like, no, I'm not going to have you around my kid only for that to be, thrown away because me and you don't work out. It happened once already. So I don't trust her. Like, the fact that me and her, we all went to the movies was a huge, huge thing. But what goes on beyond that? What's beyond this going out all the time? Like, I don't like it. This girl she doesn't have any kind of willpower. At least maybe I'm judging her. But I can only come from the lens of me being that introvert. And me as an introvert, I like having my time to spend with my woman at the house. There's other things I like to do with my day. Maybe I would be more active outside, going exterior all the time more often. But in time, I'm not doing it. And I should be able to have a partner or somebody that I can watch a show with. Now, this girl, she's allegedly wanted to watch some shows with me, like Flack and all this other stuff. But again, let a man's actions be his words. She's not coming up to the plate. She's just talking. She's giving mouth service. I can't stand that bullshit. I'm a Sigma male. We fucking loathe it. So I'm going to ask her. It's going to be fucking strong tonight. And it may fuck up any kind of future connections with her. I don't know. I say this sometimes and things change by the end of the night. A little alcohol changes everything. And then I have something different to report. So, what I'm thinking is what I'll bring up to her like, hey, is this the extent of how we're going to build our connection? Like, I just want to be straightforward with you and being honest. And do you have reservations, or why are you reluctant to spend one-on-one time with me? Do you feel like that's too vulnerable for you? Do you think that you will be taken advantage of from somebody like me? Like, what is your views? What is the overall thing there? Like, just become straight honest with me. And I'll listen, and it's okay. If you're not feeling something or you're not feeling the magic, okay, that's cool too. But it's better get rid of it and get the problem solved now than to fucking go way too far. I think a quote I sent her was, it's better to learn earlier than later, even though learning is better than never. But it's still probably better to learn earlier than later, or whatever. I don't remember what the quote was, but it was like a nice, smooth quote I was able to type to her. And that's where I'm at. Why am I wasting my time? Like, why is she wasting her time? I may be a fast mover, but in my life and what my experience has taught me, you don't know what your next minute's going to be like. I don't know what mine is. I'm glad I'm even able to make a video that's almost 40 minutes freaking long. I may not be here tomorrow to give you this video. I don't know. Why are we delaying so much of what we desire or what we could potentially want, or even to get an idea? I've got to figure it out, and it doesn't need to be like rushed. I'm not trying to rush it. But hey, I don't think I'm asking for much either. I don't need to do anything with her. I don't need to have sex with her. But I need to have a connection built. And if this is like one of the things that she's like, or just like surface talking with me, it's a waste of time. And all the future events that she keeps inviting me out and wants to do this, it'll all go to the wayside. I will not go out. I'm sorry. I hate to be honest. If you're watching this, Kimmy, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about you, honey. And I'm just being straight with you. If you find my content and you're watching it, that's it. I'm not trying to be mean or cruel or rude, but, I definitely love you, definitely enjoy experiencing your time. But I do not like wasting my life away when it should be much more simpler than that. Like, if you're too neurotic or you're too charged, like you can't sit still to just enjoy a day or something like that with somebody, okay. That you need somebody as a partner that's more active. I told you I'm an introvert. Maybe you don't want to waste your time with me. You know, I'm kind of flip-flop. You know, I'm like, I like to be chill, relax at the house, watch movies, cool. I don't need to be out bouncing around all over and fucking encountering things like you tearing up your head. That's a terrible thing. You went out, you kept going out, and that's what your experience was. Staples. It's fucking terrible, right? So you have to weigh your decision. Why can't you tone it down? But if you can't, that's not for me to judge or understand. I'm coming from my place. I'm very selfish or one-sided in that, and I'm aware of that. So I have to respect somebody wanting to do that, and then I have the other side of me that I just go out and find the people or find the partners that want this other part of what I want. And they may be different from me in other ways, but, you know, I'll find that and see what that's going to look like. In the meantime, I got to build a pirate crew. I got a pirate destination I'm going with. And I have no idea where this is going to lead me. But hopefully, if I can keep the H. pylori down, I can keep my motivation, momentum up, and I can start to achieve some great things in my life before it's over. Stay tuned. I'm stopping the video right there. Long-winded talk. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.